I've noticed many business owners thinking, how can we use AI beyond ChatGPT, making something personal for our business that can increase our revenue, decrease our costs, decrease the time it takes to do certain tasks, and just use AI for the sake of using AI because this is a wave that's coming. We can't just go and avoid it. In this video, I'm going to show you the world and machine model. This is the exact model I've been using to add AI within our business, and it has massive success. We've seen it with our clients as well. And today I want to give it all to you. That being said, let's jump into the screen and let me share all the secrets that I have. We're going to discuss three things in this video. Point number one is the system thinking behind of how I've merged my business right now with AI. And point number two is behind the scenes of how I'm running my current business with clients as the case studies and examples to show you that how did this person from a complete stranger become a client, become a case study, and now is feeding into the system back again to get me more clients. And this is like a flywheel working by itself. And point number three, I want to show you my world and my machine so you have a complete idea of how I run my business right now and make the money we are making. But very quickly before that, I want to show you this. This came out in December 2024 as the Young Arab Pioneers 2024, and it shows the key achievements and things I've done in the past. I've been doing this for the past 10 years. I've sent satellites into space. I've done systematic thinking. I've pursued my PhD in space. I've built a lot of businesses. And here are some images of all of that. We've secured funding, different businesses, featured in Entrepreneur, Middle East, and in the news, and so on. And the point I'm trying to make with the images and all that's over here is that I'm going to show you a consolidation of the past 10 years into one video of what has been working and what works right now within the business and works in the best way possible, and what is the big gap for you to take into consideration if you're building your business and adding AI to your business or adding tech in any way into your business. That being said, let's get started with this video. So the fundamental concept here is that we've been hearing these hot keywords right now in the industry. If you're looking at X, at different platforms, maybe Instagram, also on YouTube as well, you see the business related terms where you have offer doc, lead generation, lead conversion, personal branding, conversion, sales calls. Then there's this opposite movement that's going on, no sales call movement, don't message strangers movement. Then the outreach people are saying, no, we need to outreach and send messages to strangers. How are we going to sell? Then you have those 10K per month gurus or 20K per month and so on. There are a lot of terms that are going in the business related sense or keywords. Then we have the AI place or the phases where we have vibe coding, we have AI agents, automation agencies, we have Anthropic, Claude, OpenAI, we have RAG, we have NA10, Supabase, Lovable, and all these videos that I've been creating as well about them. So the big question, and this is was from one of my clients that asked me, okay, amazing, these are great stuff happening in this space, but how can I use it as me to make more money? And this is exactly what I want to talk about today. So let's look at business now from a very high level in terms of what does business look like? What is business essentially? So I'm taking out of this consideration over here in terms of the finance, HR departments, and so on. But let's look at three main departments because these three main departments run any business. It's the marketing department saying, okay, how can I let people know that I exist within a marketplace? And how can I sell them this thing, which comes to the conversion? So how can I get them enough interest so they buy this thing from me, so they convert them into paying clients? And then how can I get them the results once they have paid me? So these are the simple things that you do in any business or money making vehicle. And under these, you have a lot of other things. Let me just zoom out. So under these, you have a lot of other things. For example, for marketing, you can create content, you can run ads, you can do outreach, you can do outreach to cold people, complete strangers, you can do it to warm people. For content, you can just focus on short form platforms, you can focus on long form like YouTube, you can run paid ads on this content to show people that have no clue you exist. For outreach, as I said, for conversions, you can do sales calls. Some people are doing invites, which is only in DMs and sending emails, email marketing, and so on. Some people are doing funnels, Tripwire and VSL funnels. And of course, it's an extensive list that I can go through over here. These are just main points. For delivery, you have done with you, done for you, do it yourself. For done with you, you have coaching, consulting, mentorship. For done for you, agency work, for example, do it yourself. For example, I'm going to give you templates, worksheet, courses, and you just do it yourself. So there are many combinations that any individual can take in order to run a business. There are videos on YouTube. You can find all those videos because I've been once upon a time watching every single video, figuring this all out. And every individual says only cold outreach works, or only warm outreach works, or only short form content works, or only long form content works. The secret is, and I'm going to tell you the secret, everything and every single combination over here works. Like whatever you choose in terms of, let's say, one of here, two call closes, and just doing coaching, this works. If you choose long form and DMs and courses, that also works. So everything over here works. But what do you want to make work, and what are you comfortable with? That's a great question you need to be asking yourself, because I used to think that there's one best way. There's no best way. Everything works, and everything can do well as well. It makes you the money you want, get you the business you want, and so on. Is that what do you want and what choice you have over here? I'm going to show you my choice of things and where do they fit in within my model. You can copy that, or you can just choose your own things and just figure out the frameworks that I'm going to give you and use them to make this work for yourself. So that's from a business perspective. But if we go to the client side, from a client's perspective, what a client goes through is that they are complete strangers at the beginning, then they become leads, then they become customers, then they become clients, then they become case studies. So any individual right now in the world that has the potential of becoming your client must go through these stages. They have no clue about what's happening at the top side, which is your business. And sometimes people just ignore the client side, but this is what the client sees. Like, this is essentially what people say, be in the shoes of your client. This is being in the shoes of your client. Their strangers become lead customers, clients, and case studies. And one system is enough to get any client between these stages. This is very, very important. It's not that you need all of this over here to get strangers to lead. You can do that, but if you're starting out right now, or you have a business that's running and you have no plans on scaling or whatever, you can get easily to $100,000 per month or $1 million per year business without focusing on other things. It's just one way or one system. That's a very important point as well. So you choose one system for each transition and you make this work. For example, in this case, I've chosen, okay, short form content to get emails to make them leads, and then email marketing to make those leads to customer. And customers, you send them a VSL, let's say funnel, to get them to clients, watch the VSL, then click and, okay, ask me for the client. And then client, through mentorship, I'm going to make them a case study. And here is a live example of this happening. So this is one of my clients, Loe. I just put it over here just so you see how the cycle flows in a practical example. So he reached out to me once upon a time, and this cycle, by the way, took around 16 weeks. So he reached out to me. He booked a call when I used to take calls, and he said, "Okay, this is a form. I found this form. I had to dig it up." He said, "I am this person. I have this target. My obstacles are this. I can do this. I can book 10 to 20 more appointments, and this is how I found out about you." So then he became a lead. He gave me permission to speak to him because now he's showed interest. And then for Lei, because he was a special case, he did not go through the customer route. I'm going to show you another example that went through in the customer route, but he did not go through the customer route. He jumped straight to becoming a client when I launched through email, which is your invitation inside. Here's the email. It was an invitation email. Do you want to work with me? I do it once every month. And he said, I'm in. And once he was in, we went through the mentorship and we did everything that I deliver. And now he gave me a case study. He sent me this testimonial over here. And here are just screenshots of him getting results. I got a client. I in Arabic, this means Ciola work is on fire because he just got a booking over here. And this is essentially what he was going through. And this is also some of his achievements where he got invited to speak at an event and he got to different events and so on. So this is all material for me that I'm using right now live to show strangers and leads who are at the bottom over here, to bring them to customers, clients, and case studies. So you just see the cycle how it's working. Just draw a line, going back, showing this material over here, and going through the cycle over and over again. So this essentially is from the client side. And then you saw the business side as well. So this is essentially what a business is to begin with. But I want to take this one level further, because we're talking about business, yes, but where does AI fit in all of this? Like, okay, AI is great and so on, but where does it fit in all of this? So we can break every single thing we talked about right now into simple tasks. For example, task number one is write offer documents. Task number two is add feedback you got from the previous offer document to the new offer document. Task number three is send daily emails. Task number four is create and post daily content. And you can see exactly like all the tasks that we can do to get this system or this business running, like at the very basic level. And if we look at it at a hierarchy level, these tasks have complexity. Some tasks are on a strategic level and some tasks are on operation level. So strategic meaning that the executive team or the C-suite team take care of that. Okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. This is the strategy, we're going to put it into place, and now let's get it and execute on this strategy. And who does the execution is basically the employees. If we go down this ladder over here, which is similar to a traditional organization chart, here you end up with tasks. And these tasks can be taken over by machines. Here are two task examples that I've given to machines. And for example, over here, one task is daily content creator, where it fetches data, which is ideas I put on my notepad or in Airtable, which is a database. And then it fetches it every single day at the morning. It runs it through an agent, and then, which is an AI, let's say, and it just gives me the content that's created. Okay, go ahead now. You can post this content. That's point number one. And another machine I have is on form submissions. It's gonna create for me offer documents, which are very critical for my system. So these are all individual tasks, and at the task level, where I'm creating machines out of them. And this, for example, this task over here takes me 1 hour, 2 hours to do. Now I freed up 1 to 2 hours. This task, for example, takes me 40 minutes per day to do if I'm going to do daily content. Now freed up 40 minutes per day. I just review and enter my ideas. For example, I have this idea. I jot it down in 1 minute or 5 minutes. Let's say whatever, like maximum 5 minutes. And it just does it and gives me the output. And I just review the output and click OK, accept. That means post it. So essentially, I'm cutting down time and my mental capacity so I can focus on other things. This is where AI fits in the whole picture. Now let's combine everything into a world and machine. So this is how your world and machine would look like. Your world essentially means the systems you have in place to take a client from a stranger to a lead to a customer to a client to a case study. And then add your personality and vibe to that, because let's think about this. Everyone can do sales calls. Everyone can create content. But what makes it unique? It's you, your personality, your energy, what vibe you have, and your chemistry, whatever you want to call it. So that's your world and how you create your world. Your hobbies, your interests, and everything just goes into this part. And the system, which is the business side. And you can see a drawing over here. If you this is your world, you are at the core of everything. This is a very important point. You are at the core of everything, and the machines are AI employees that take those individual tasks and do it for you, as if you have an army of people working for you 24/7 to get your business running and scale as much as possible. And you can see this orbit around this world being lead to customer to client to case study. This end keeps on going around. And then you get leads to customers through a conversion system, then customers to client through a conversion system, client to a case study through a delivery system, stranger to a lead through a marketing system. Then you have these small satellites on the side, which are the machines that are running. Essentially, these machines are many machines at a very, let's say, small level, but there's one big machine taking over of all this actions that they're doing. And just a concept just I want to add over here is that the way I have designed this is that I talk to a person, I imagine it is a person on WhatsApp. And that person is essentially an AI. But I talk to this AI on WhatsApp and tell it, okay, I want to do XYZ. This AI is the chief AI agent, which I call it in terms of hierarchy, and it sorts out which department is needed in order to get the job done and sorts out to the exact individual or the employee, the AI employee needed to get this job done and gives me the output as a job done. So I have this kind of hierarchy of people where I've created, which are AI agents that I communicate with on a daily basis. Essentially, I have a team of AI people. So this is essentially how world building and worlds and machines work. Now, a question I got also in the past when I was starting this ideas and talking about machines and where AI fits in and so on was, do I really need this? Because I can send emails every single day. I can go on calls. I can look at the transcripts. I can book meetings and appointments. I can do a lot of things as a human. Then I asked them this question. I told them, okay, you can do all that, but what happens when you scale? What happens when you have 20 clients? What happens when you have 50 clients? What happens? Everything will break. Like, are you going to spend your whole life answering emails and booking calls? So, this is where this system shines. The more work there is to be done, the more you want to scale, the better this works for you. So, if we look at it and answer it in a more detailed way, let's look at it at the traditional way, which is the normal way of doing things, and the new way of doing things. The traditional and normal way is, for example, every single day you create content for 4 hours a day because you need to generate leads. Without leads, you don't have a business. So you create content for Instagram, YouTube, X, all these platforms, and you're just creating content every single day. That's 4 hours of your day. Then you maybe pay some social media manager 1.5 or 1,500 per month dollars per month, or some agency to do some work for you to help you with the content. Then you maybe spend some time building a website or tell this agency to build a website for you, and a couple of funnels because you're running a workshop, you're running a launch, you have this offer document, and so on. So then you're just focusing and thinking about this and delegating and so on. Then you're sending one email every single day because you have to send an email. Without sending an email, you won't get clients. So you're thinking, okay, I need to send an email every single day. Then you're booking appointments. Then you're following up with the people you booked appointments with to make sure they show up. Then you're doing your daily check-ins with your clients, making sure they're alive, everything is good, they have any concerns, and so on. Then you're doing client work as well. Then you also are spending a couple of thousand of dollars on software subscriptions. And then also you have a life, by the way. Like, okay, amazing. This is the business part, but you also have a life. You have responsibilities. You most probably have a family. You have hobbies. You have interests. You have priorities. So that's also something else that you want to keep on top of. So this is essentially the traditional way. Takes 8 to 10 hours of work running a business, 65 hours a week of brain power, which can cause some fatigue because you need to rest. Humans need to rest. And this is a lot of expenses that you need to be spent for a very inefficient system and can be way more than this number over here. But the new way, which is worlds and machines, how it works is, one, you only ideate on content if we're talking about content creation for 1 to 5 minutes. You accept and approve content that the machine generates, and then you post it, the machine posts it for you, and after you click accept. For agencies, you can replace a full agency by a machine. For websites, you can replace website developers and designers by a machine. There are many tools. I've showed it on my channel as well. And for emails, you can replace that by a machine. For booking appointments, can be replaced by a machine. For check-ins, you can replace it by a machine, and after they respond to you, you can follow up for 2 to 5 minutes instead of 15 minutes. For client work, you can do leveraged work for 1 to 2 hours a day, because this is important. This is a human element, and you're doing client work. And I've put practical numbers based on what I am doing. So this can be done in 1 to 2 hours a day. And in subscriptions, you have machine costs, and these machines don't cost that much, by the way. Like, I've counted the subscriptions. One subscription, for example, OpenAI ChatGPT is $20 per month. We have Lovable if you're going to use it for websites and so on. That's $20 per month. Claude, that's going to be redundant. So it depends on your tech stack. And if you're going to use N8N, I'm not sure how much I'm paying for that, but that's, let's say, roughly $20 per month. So it's less than $100 per month to get everything running. If you're talking about domains and email hosting and so on, that's five, depends on the domain, but that's $5, let's say, per month. If you're talking about Google Workspace, that's $6 per month. So it's roughly $100 per month. And if you're staying up to date, and this is a nice scenario I have with one of my clients. He said, I'm really interested in this particular topic, let's say golf, and I want to stay up to date with it. So he created agents after we worked together. He created agents where this agent every morning at 7 a.m. pulls out the best golf articles and news and shows it to him. And in terms, it tells them, okay, here's the best ones, what's new, what's updated, just read them if you have. And this is a summary of everything. I thought is a cool use case for this as well. So what happens is 1 to 2 hours of days of work, 8 to 10 hours days of work become 1 to 2 hours, and you free up your time and your mental capacity just to ideate, think, live life, and your expenses is way lower than what it would be the traditional way. And you can scale this, and you decide. This is the beauty of it. You decide, and you have the freedom to scale this as much and as far as you want in terms of your business, your life, and do what you want. It's super powerful. I hope this concept is like hitting right now. And of course, I'm going to show you a real case scenario of this. This is one of my clients as well, Amen. And this process took around 1 to 2 weeks. He's a very well known authority in the field of achieving governmental KPIs. The government have KPIs, and he goes in and his team goes in and executes. As you can see here, he's been with Gary Vee. He's been on the news multiple times. And also, he gives a lot of workshops in Dubai and the UAE. So the other day when we were talking, he told me that, Adham, I don't have time for creating content on a daily basis because that needs mental capacity of me to create content, and it takes time. And I find myself getting lost in the ideation phase, production, and being this perfectionist and so on. So I told him, look, your trigger and ramble is the ideation. So as soon as you feel that you want to ramble, I want you to pick up your phone, send a voice note to this number, which was an AI agent, and let's say a bot, and just ramble to that person. That AI agent will output you a pic and a post, which you can post in your style. And this takes only 1 to 2 minutes. It doesn't take more than 1 to 2 minutes, and your brain usage would be zero, which is minimum. That's what he wanted. This is the criteria. It's going to be, this is a bit technical, but that's what we discussed. So the build was exactly this. I wanted Ayman to send a WhatsApp message to this AI agent and then get an output of the post that he wanted. And this was exactly the build we built out. So what happened in 2 days after using this, he he this is one of the reviews he sent. So I'm just showing you this so you can see how he went from lead to customer to client to case study, and now it's going to be feeded past back within this video, as you can see. But he sent on 24th of March, he sent this message. I am back to creating content with the support of Adham, but to be honest, it was the support of the AI. One of my posts went viral equivalent of business, where LinkedIn themselves featured it in two of their highlights, and so did the publication in Smashy Business. So this is just showing that after his engine was back on, and it's on till today, and as I can see, content has been, like, the ideation phase and all that issues has been gone out of the window. And you can see the post over here and how it went like viral. He got the leads and he got the what he wanted out of content, and now his content engine is going on and he's really happy. And this message over here is what really, really made me happy, and I want every individual to reach. So let me just tell you this part. The time took from hours to 1 minute now in all content creation. The money, instead of spending 1,500 to 3,000 a month for 30 posts by an agency, he does it for $0.06 per post. And the headache is now he doesn't have to deal with humans anymore or agencies explaining himself, his ideas, and so on. So this saved him a lot in terms of productivity, if you want to talk about productivity, but running the business itself. And after a couple of days, he sent me this message. And this is why now together we're building a lot of agents together. And it started with just this one agent because he needed it. we wouldn't be at the phase we are right now in terms of building agents if we did not do that. And he didn't get the results that he got just so he sees. So he said that I've been spending all day on NA10. There's a lot of potential there, a lot. This to me means his mind now is running with ideas of what parts of the business now I can put a machine on and just free myself from the time, the money, the headache, the mental capacity on, and so on. So, this is just another example that I think will show you why machines are needed and why we need to integrate it today in our businesses. Now, the most important part, I want to show you how I am using this within my business and how am I doing everything together, what are the results that we are getting, and how you can use it right now in your business as well. So let's start over here. The same cycle goes on: strangers, leads, customer, clients, case study, back to strangers. So let's start by strangers. For strangers, I have one short form channel and one long form channel. And I go on this principle of momentum equals, which is momentum within your business, equals lead, the lead that's coming in, the quality of the lead, the qualification of the lead, the income level, the purchasing power of the lead, whatever that lead is, times the conversion velocity, how fast that lead becomes, a, for example, a stranger becomes a lead becomes a customer becomes a client becomes a case study. How fast that goes, the higher the momentum is. So that's how I look about everything, because the lead stays the same. The individual will make the same amount of money when he comes to you, so you just build up the momentum by getting them through the cycle and then getting them the results they want. So the way I do this is I have a system in place. I'm going to show you in a bit that I use one short form channel and one long form channel to convert strangers into leads. And the system in place is over here. I send one perspective shifting content daily on a short form, and a long form, I'm trying to do it on a daily basis now. I'm trying to figure that system out. But on short form, I make sure that's a daily thing. I use the Homework protocol where I talk to people that have money and can afford what I'm selling and also will value everything that I have, because we know, and you know, if you've been in business long enough, you know that not everyone values what you have. Not everyone has the money to pay for your services, what you're charging, and you're never going to undercharge based on the value you provide. And I make one call to action every single day to join my email list so I get leads. So the only goal of my social media is never to sell, but to get strangers to become leads, which giving me permission to talk to them either through emails or through the DMs or whatever it is. So just permission to talk to them. So once I have the leads in, what I do is I have an email list and I have the schedule that I've set for myself. As you can see, this is yellow, this is green, yellow, and green. And this leads can go into two directions. It can go either to become clients or to become customers. So my email list in yellow, let's say, that's my client offer. I'm going to try to push them in this direction. The next week, I'm going to push them in the customer direction. And the week after is again to the client, and then again to the customer. These are mini launches I'm making on a weekly basis. Like every single week, I have a launch either to this side or this side. And the reason I don't do it all, let's say, customer, all client, because one, we engineer supply and demand economics 101, where when this is closed, only this is open, nobody can join here. That's for scarcity and urgency and so on. And the second point is you're not going to fatigue your list or the people you have, the leads you have, in terms of always sending them the same offer and offer over again. So you're just cycling between offers. So this essentially is what I do with the leads. And then let's look at the systems. So once these two are in place, what you can see happening is I have the perspective shifting email to the leads and also perspective shifting content to the strangers. And once they come in, I want velocity, since momentum. Once, let's say, a prospect is in motion, that prospect will stay in motion. So you need to capture that momentum and push them through. So I send the email and I make an offer daily, and I plan and run workshops to make leads into customers. And this is just an example of this happening. So this is an example of actually velocity, momentum. I'm capturing momentum. So you can see on this dates, for example, I'm getting a bunch of leads because I posted something. And you can see a customer offer being bought here. Just a small customer offer making a lead to a customer. So the point is of the customer offer is not to make money, but make leads to become customers. For example, here again, you can see leads coming in, then customer offer, leads coming in again, customer offer the same day. So on the same day, you can see like some of the leads will become customers really fast. Some people need more time and so on. But this is how I'm doing it, because the main point is of this process to begin with is that once you have enough leads, you want those leads to become customers. So they show you that I'm here to buy from you. I'm not here for the free PDFs or as a freebie seeker to whatever you have. So once that's done, and by the way, yes, you can do it through micro offers, workshops, one time purchases, and so on. Once that's done, I'm going to try to get the customer pool and the leads to become clients, because some, as Loe you saw in the example, jump from leads to clients, but some need that middle ground over here in terms of I'm going to test what you have, I'm going to see what you have, then I'm going to become client. So how you take them from here or here to becoming client is by inviting them to work with you. You're going to send an invite through an offer doc, for example. It's similar to a proposal. So an offer document, here's an example of it, but through an offer document, I have a system on this, and I created a video on this as well on the channel and how I did this system and this machine. So essentially, I write whatever I want to sell. It goes through this backend. It gives me this document similar to this over here, which I send as an invite to clients. And I open 7 days per month right now. I'm not doing it, I'm just doing it 1 week per month. And you can see things like this happen because you've already shifted the perspective. Clients are ready to buy. Customers, I mean, they're ready to buy. And you've given them the content and you've just pushed them down the stages, and it makes it very, very easy. This is a 3,200 buy, for example. Payment is done. This is, hey, I want to pay 3,200. This is, hey, I want to pay on a weekly basis. This is, hey, I want to pay on monthly basis. So these are just examples of what to expect without doing any sales calls and so on. I'm not saying don't do sales calls. If you want, you can do. It's up to you. But there are ways to do it without sales calls. So once you upsell or invite people and they take you on the offer, they become clients. And now your only goal once they pay is to make them case studies. This is very important because the journey does not end over here. The journey ends over here, because that's the complete stages. You need to deliver the outcome or the results that they're there for. I drew this. So you saw at the top that there's coaching models, consulting models, mentoring models, and so on. I do this through a hybrid partner model where I be your partner in crime to get you the results you want. It's more of a done with you, done for you, do it yourself kind of model, all mixed together, where we sit together. For example, you say, I want to create a lead magnet based using an AI platform to gather data because my niche is XYZ. I tell you, okay, let's think about that. Let's create the workflow. Let's work on N8N, for example, and let's vibe code this if you're not tech savvy and get you this platform running in the next 2 to 3 days. So that's kind of a model. Whatever you need, whatever you want, we do together. We get it done. We get you to the outcome we want, which is the outcome I'm promising here. Is I'm going to come to it in a bit. It's kind of a game. I've made it a game. And this is where gamified results come in. I highly suggest you do this because I've gotten positive feedback for the gamified results thing. I'm going to explain to you. And a client success system. And these are all systems that track. For example, I have a system, a machine in place where I look and scrape the content of all my clients just to, by the end of the week, like every Friday, I know exactly what they've posted throughout the week, and I can give them the right comments and suggestions when we meet next time. So this is just an example. So let me just explain to you how we do everything to turn them into case studies and what you saw as the results, and then send them back to strangers to get more clients and so on. So what we do is we have levels within Ciola or our business, and you can have levels within your business as well. We have milestones. For example, if you're just starting out, our first milestone together would be 10,000. Our milestone is financial over here, but with the fact or while maintaining 2 to 4 hours max per day, like 2 hours of work per day using machines and so on. Like we're not going on board and creating another job for ourselves. So the milestone, first milestone is 10,000, second milestone is 20,000, 40,000, 60,000, 80,000, 100,000. I want you to go through the ranks, and I've designed everything for you to go through this ranks. Our first target together is 20,000. And usually based on the clients I've gotten so far, the people interested in 10,000, 20,000, And this messaging, to who it resonates, are employees who want to quit their 9 to 5. This is very, very lucrative to them when I explain it and message it this way in terms of content. And for entrepreneurs who want to go past this and pass a scale past $1 million, and there are particular examples of that within Seoul as well. They're more interested in 40,000 per month, 60,000, 80,000, 100,000, and more than that. So this is essentially what I've found based on the clients I've gotten. And ideally, the promise would be, okay, we're going to get to this target, but with 83 clients or less. That means we need to play with the pricing. That means we need to generate enough demand based on the supply you have. And with 95% profit margins, meaning that, okay, look at this. This is the work, and this is the profit margin in terms of we not having high expenses. And this is in terms of the time you have actually going and living your life and not living to build a business or feed yourself with this business. It's actually you have a life. You need to go enjoy your life. So, or if you don't enjoy life, you can do whatever you want, like read a book, whatever you enjoy. So this is essentially our constraints within how we go through this ranks, and these are the ranks we have put. So if you have a business right now, I highly suggest look at ways how you can gamify the results for your clients. They're gonna find it extremely valuable. So we do this, as I said, through a hybrid partner model. It includes Zoom, it includes WhatsApp 24/7 WhatsApp access to me. We do weekly calls, for example. We sit on calls and go through workflows, build the machines. If they need the offer, we build the offer. Is either doing world building stuff or working on the machines themselves to get the thing job done. And then they get resources as well, which I have the resources and everything I just explained to you within here, which I have W1, W2, W5, which are the world levels. Then we have the machine levels, which is M1 to M5. And the machine levels over here are MCR, SRR, and all these. Essentially, what these are space mission terminology, meaning that, okay, this is the mission concept review. We're going to get clear on what tasks within your business right now we need to create agents for or AI employees for. SRR, what are the system requirements right now? PDR, which is the preliminary design. What is the design of the system right now? CDR is a critical design review. So basically what I went through when I was building satellites, we now do it within AI agents. And the beauty of this is you're always going towards one outcome. You're solving for one result only at all times. I know many people are solving for many results, but in this case and in this model that I'm running, you're always solving for one result, meaning that you're specializing in this particular result so much that it's just compounding with time. And as time goes, you just get better at it. You understand the market better. You understand the dynamics of the market better, and so on. And what happens when you do that is that you charge, or the way you model everything, is based on access to you. Where more access they have to you, the more access the client has to you, the more money they're going to pay you. For example, if they want personalized work where you go and just build everything, they need to pay you more. If it's done for you work as agency work and so on, they're going to pay you even more. If it's a partnership, they're going to give you an equity in this. So the more access they have to you, the more money you're going to be making. That's point number one. And you can choose how much access you want to give in order to keep your time, like your valuable time, doing things you love. Look, I truly believe worlds and machines are really valuable if you implement it right within your business. Now, what I want you to take away from this is how can you build your world, and what machines can you use within your business to eliminate a lot of work that's being done right now in terms of manual work. So what I told my clients the other day is that get a piece of paper, write down all the tasks you're doing within a single day, and let's sit together and see how can we build machines of every single task you have. And a very easy way to do this is go on ChatGPT right now, open your phone, click the record button, start speaking to ChatGPT saying, every single day I send one email, I send one post, I send XYZ, and so on. And close that and write to ChatGPT or any platform you're using, write and say, write a PRD out of this so I can feed into another platform to build for me an app. Just mention that. It's going to give you a nice document where you can use and ideate everything around and know exactly what you're going to build for yourself.